for disaster, a reckoning. You wonder how I got this way. You think I'm someone to be saved, someone to clean up and tame. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you think I would look pretty on your arm once you cover up my bruises and battle scars, but it always ends the same. Can't bear the things I've had to face, got you crying on your knees in pain. Oh, some things never change, never change. Oh, you break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. I stopped asking for forgiveness, cause you should know only fools tread where the angels fear to go, but you keep trying to get too close. Save myself by turning into stone, so save your judgment cause you just don't know. But some things never change, never change. Oh, they say I should feel guilty and change my ways, leaving crumpled bodies in my wake. Swear I didn't mean to make them break, swear I didn't mean to make them break. But they're so delicate and so mundane, and they keep coming like a moth to a flame. Oh, some things never change, never change. You break your back to make me feel again, suffocate to make me breathe again, lose your mind from endless pain. Some things never change, never change. Oh, redemption never came. You make me move, you make me dance, you make my heart beat super fast. You lift me up, you make me laugh. Baby, you're the best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. Best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. Best I ever had. You're the best I ever had. You make my heart beat super fast. Super fast, super fast.
You make my heart beat super fast.
What does love feel like?
Salutare, toată lumea! Bun găsit la o nouă live. Astăzi reacționăm la ultima zi de la finală. Astăzi o să vorbim și discutăm și mai multe detalii, dar nu uitați de butonul de like și abonare. Hai să facem astăzi 730 de abonați, pentru că o să fie o finală mai, nu știu cum așa, eu zic așa. Hai să văd, să votăm puțin. Acum intră acum live, așa că să vedem începutul, o să vedem cine o să fie, acum o să fie eliminarele. Doar că așa, că hai să dăm. Și voi ce faceți? Scrieți și voi acolo să băgați gratis, să dai pe acolo. Așa. Sumele sunt așa, na. Deci avem primul meci cu Zeta Division cu Repitontem. Eu zic că Zeta Division eu zic că o să votăm, că e foarte bună și Chandra, dar Zeta Division o să o votez pentru că e bună. Așa zic eu, dar poate votați și voi dacă votați. Acum am deschis și eu la văd cat. Așa. Ia să vedem. Finala. Acum începe, sperăm să câștige, vedem, ori Zeta Division, ori FINALA. Eu zic că una din ele poate câștigăm, nu știu dacă câștigă ele sau vedem noi acum. Cine câștigă finala trofeul, dacă, na, dar sperăm. Să vedem cine dă. Așa. Am ridicat. Să vedem cine câștigă. Nu scrieți nimica, dar nu uitați să apăsați butonul de like și abonare, pentru că poate mai multe episoade care interesante, dar o să fie următorul episod, o să fie că o să luăm 9 skin, gratis 9 skin, dar că o să vedeți în momentul peste câteva săptămâni o să mai postăm alte videoclipe, niște Roblox-uri, că nu știu, dar sperăm, dacă vreți să facem mai multe videoclipe sau livuri, să dați abonarea și like-ul și eu o încerc, pentru că poate unii, dacă aveți prieteni, dați un share, pentru că poate dau și un like sau abonare, mai am poate vizionari, măcar atâta, da. Sunt mulțumit dacă dă un like sau nu știu eu. Dar eu zic că astăzi câștigă cine, să vedem la întâi la final cine o să fie și pe aia o să vedem cine câștigă. Așa că nu.
Bonjour à tous et bienvenue pour cette troisième journée des finales mondiales de Brawl. Brawl Stars. On a commencé vendredi. Il y avait 16 équipes vendredi qui sont entrées en lice. Il n'en reste que 8 équipes aujourd'hui en compétition toute la journée. Mais un seul trophée à récupérer, une seule de ces équipes pourra être sacrée championne du monde. Ça sera à la fin de la journée. On a beaucoup d'actions aujourd'hui et j'espère que vous êtes chaud pour toute la journée. And of course in English, all of the English speakers in the crowd, are you guys at home? Of course, welcome back to the Brawl Stars World Finals. This is day 3. This is Championship Sunday. 16 teams entered on Friday. Only 8 remain. But you know what? This is a championship. Only one can take this trophy. One team will leave as the world champion today, right here in Disneyland Paris. It's gonna be a ton of fun. I am Damascus. I will be your host all weekend. But of course, you know what time is it. Let's get rolling!
Pentru că începe acusa 3, 2, 1. Apare apare melodia băieți și niște niște trailere cu trofeul și arată eu zic Zeta Division am câștigat anul trecut și tot că a câștigat Zeta Division. Anul ăsta nu știu dacă câștigă, sperăm să câștigă a doua oară sau nu. Așa că sperăm, dar eu o să băgăm pe nave, dacă eu zic că băgăm nave, așa că ne mutăm. Avem alt cont, intrăm imediat voi nu o să vedeți am intrat din nou, scuzați-mă, așa că acum dăm startul. Am schimbat azi dăm controlul așa. Am revenit, sperăm să meargă. Am schimbat contul că am căscat pe champion.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Brawl Stars World Finals. On the final day, it has all been coming down to this once again at Disneyland Paris in a packed venue. I'm ready, set, and I couldn't be more excited than to do it with you, Teddy.
Man, it's a privilege, again, to be here at the World Finals, next to, you know, the incredible Ready Set. It's been crazy already in the first 2 days, but now this is when things get even more interesting. I mean, we got insane
Și
matches lined up for you.
să vedem,
Can't wait
eu
to get
zic
into it.
că
It's what it's all been coming
Zeta
down to.
Division
So many
câștigă
matches leading
meciul
up to
ăsta.
this. A bit of a bracket
Sau
recap as
repet,
well as we've gotten through
eu
those
zic
first
că
8
Zeta
matches in the
Division
past 2
tot
days.
câștigă.
And man, have they been
Este
exciting, but it's been a
dificil
lot of 3-0
cu
victories, some
spre
very convincing matches, but it's all going to get that much
puțin
closer today
dificil,
as we
că
move into the quarterfinals and we blast through this entire
bun
bracket
și aia,
in one
dar
day
să vedem
to
cine
crown
câștigă
our Brawl
așa
Stars World Champions.
dintre
Yeah,
ele.
this
Hai
is
să
what
vedem.
good seeding looks
Să
like. You know, a
încercăm,
lot of
da.
trios in that round of
Eu
16,
zic că,
but some
că
closer matches too. Looking at Zeta
o
Division
echipă
1 versus
care,
Chasmag, that
care,
3-1
care
could honestly have been a
merită,
3-2.
dar să vedem cine
A bit
o să
lower,
fie
the other Zeta Division 0 against the other Chasmag gaming team, the
vedem.
Brazil side of things, a 3-2 that went to double match points.
Nu
So we
uitați
did
să
have some of the
apăsați
closer series
like-ul
already in the round
acolo,
of 16, but looking at our
repejor,
quarterfinals today,
cu abonare
those
acolo,
are already insane.
facem
Zeta Division 1 versus
730
Reply
de
Totem,
abonați.
that's pretty much a grand final
Și anul
quality
ăsta
match.
vrem
STMN
să
versus Team
reușim
KZO. Always love
800 de
some
abonați
NA versus
la
EMEA
anul
matches.
ăsta, măcar
Tribe Gaming EU
până la
versus Zeta
anul,
Division
la
0,
anul
hella
facem ca
stacked as
toate
well. And last
anul
but not least,
abonare.
Tribe Gaming NA versus SK Gaming.
vedem.
That is
Aici
one of the El Clasicos of the
prezintă
BFC.
It certainly
tabelul
is, and by
care
making it to the
zice
quarterfinals, these teams, they have claimed a
despre
whole lot of
cine o să
prize
fie
money
în
as well. A $1 million prize pool here for the Brawl Stars
Aici
World
sunt
Finals,
totarea
and
care
$400,000 go to that
ei,
first place
dacă
team.
ei
That
sunt
is
pe
going to be
9,
awarded when we crown our
au
world
500
champion later today. And
mii
that
de
is going to be
lire.
insane.
La
Headed
1
into
este
what
40
we
de
expect
mii,
for the outcome of these
40
matches,
de
though. We knew
milioane,
that SK and Tribe is
milioane,
going to be a
40 de
close one, but
milioane.
it looks like we have some similar predictions.
Wow,
Aici
all right. Well, for the three
Nu știu,
last
zic
matches,
că-
three last quarterfinals rather, we are all going STMN, Tribe EU, and SK Gaming. Interesting take here, but I mean, it seems like the first quarterfinal is where we have some different opinions here, even between us, Reddy.
Look, it's a split decision, especially when it comes down to Reply Totem. Seems to be a bit of a divisive team here. However, what we can expect is amazing gameplay across the board, but Zeta Division 1 really going against them with Reply Totem. And you think Totem is going to take it. These are the Brawl Stars World Champions as well, but I can't knock it. We have to see it played on the battlefield as well, and we'll see who gets those predictions right as well. And of course, we want to hear from you guys as far as your predictions as well on the event platform, event.brawlstars.com. Make sure you interact with the stream, win some prizes. There's a skin. I think we've been doing pretty well on our predictions, so we got the skin already. However, we want you guys to get some in-game goodies as well and interact with the stream. We also want to know how you are reacting to some of the things that are going on here. Please share your experiences with us on TikTok, hashtag BSWF22 to share your experiences with us, and we can't wait to see what you guys have to offer.
Yeah, exactly that, because we have a live audience here. We can see their reactions. We do want to see yours too from home. So excited to see how and what everyone thinks about the World Final so far.
Well, I mean, we have only a bit more time before we lead into that first matchup, and it's going to be absolutely furious. Zeta Division 1 versus Reply Totem, and okay, we already had a split decision on this one. What do you want to say? Just go ahead and say it.
Man, this is a grand final. This is a grand final, but before the grand final. So incredibly excited to watch those teams play. Let's welcome them to the stage.
Et allez, c'est l'heure de notre premier match de la journée, le premier match éliminatoire, le premier quart de finale. On en a beaucoup aujourd'hui. Et ce premier, évidemment, comme nos casters l'ont dit, il est très important. C'est de grosses équipes. Ils ont fait des bonnes entrées ce vendredi. Et c'est le moment de les accueillir. La première équipe, évidemment, fraîche d'un 3-1 vendredi. Là, ils étaient prêts. Ils sont là pour prendre le titre. Ils font partie des favoris de ce week-end. Ils nous viennent du Japon. Et si vous voulez les encourager, tout ce que vous avez à dire, c'est Zeta Gambare. Un match de bruit pour Zeta Division 1.
Bine, bă! E la Division, așa, da.
Do they really need any introduction? Shitapo, Kenji, and Moyogoku, two world finalists on their team, one world champion from last year being Shitapo. Kenji also making it to the world finals last year with Queen 9. Moyogoku, this is his first world final as well, but they've set a high bar and a lot of expectations, taking 4 monthly finals in their regions as well, just a star-studded team with a lot of expectations proceeding.
Yes, and if you guys are thinking, well, you know, the World Finals, that was a year ago. Well, They won
Dacă
MSI.
vedem
That was in
dacă
June.
e
They got
adevărat,
first
dacă
place there
urmare
as
acolo.
well. They just have
like-uri, vă
incredible
rog frumos
results across
că
the board last year. No one
Așa
saw
că
it coming, but now
zic
they
că
came
Super
in
Division
as
câștigă
big
acum.
favorites for this
Hai să
World
vedem.
Final 22.
Well, let me counter that because MSI was several months ago as
Vedem
well,
dacă
nearing that
câștigăm.
6-month mark as well, and their opponents have been looking great in those last 6 months as well. Reply Totem, an absolute powerhouse. Let's welcome them to the stage.
Et oui, on est là pour les adversaires maintenant. Ils sont du côté européen. On a Europe contre Japon cette fois. Ils nous ont fait un match plein de rebondissements. Le vendredi, il était très plaisant à voir. Et cette fois, ils ont un très gros client. S'il vous plaît, un tonnerre d'applaudissements pour Reply Totem!
Hai să băieți.
Some of the local favorites here as arguably the strongest team in EMEA. That's Maori and Joker forming Reply Totem. They got fourth place in 2021 for the World Finals. They did not quite qualify for MSI, and they won 2 monthly finals this year in the EMEA region. They do have some veterans with Maru and Maori that did get that fourth place last year, but Joker, he doesn't quite have that level of experience, and yet he is such an incredible talent that, I mean, a lot of people want him to be the best player of the year, but for that, he needs to help his team win Worlds.
A lack of World Finals experience, you would never expect this, seeing Joker at just an eyes glancer, even after several moments of observing them. As soon as Joker joined this team, it's as if it revitalized them and directly pushed them right into the spotlight in EMEA, going several months without suffering a single match defeat versus any of the other top teams as well. It is insane. It's never been done before in Brawl Stars. As of late, they haven't managed to continue the domination. It is sort of impossible to even make that happen. However, they might also be able to defeat the seemingly impossible of taking down Zeta Division 1. Once again, high expectations for both of these teams. I think higher expectations for Zeta Division 1 though.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you know, they are the current champions when it comes to Brawl Stars. They have achieved nearly everything there is to achieve. The next level they can reach is going to be to win a second World Final. No team has ever done that. No team has ever been into Grand Finals. Well, you know, this is still quite a bit away from now, but that will be decided today, and the first steps to make that happen is going to be taking down Reply Totem, which just by itself is already a challenge and a half.
It's ridiculous, and they are out here to create Brawl Stars history in getting 2 World Finals victories in a row. It's going to be a tall task because Reply Totem is not the only team that will stand in their path. There are more to come throughout the day as well, but like you said, this might as well be a grand final because of the caliber of both of these teams. It has been an extremely stacked upper bracket, to speak specifically as well. And to see these two teams face off so early is a little mind-boggling.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have been looking at social media in the last couple of weeks and saw some of the power rankings and tier lists from everyone up there, it was always Totem and Zeta Division 1 in that S tier category. Sometimes Zeta Division 0 is also up there too, but looking at you guys at home, 61% of you all are gonna be voting for Zeta Division 1, 39 for Reply Totem. We'll see who gets it right as our fans are coming through here for double swoosh. We'll see Janet, Crow, and Max banned out by Zeta as Totem take out Poco, Stu, and Carl. First big bone up from Reply Totem. That's an interesting way to go.
And I think it's also a little bit less unusual when you see that they've also got rid of Stu at lane. He's very powerful and definitely a favorite for Reply Totem, but they didn't feel like going for the first pick, interestingly enough. Here are the picks from Zeta Division 1, though. They're going with Penny and B. And with B, you have to be breaking open these walls. Not as popular of a pick on double swoosh, in particular because you have to combine it with wall break. And I think it might be quite straightforward for Reply Totem to go ahead and pick those out, but this could be a trap late in the draft so that Reply Totem is forced to run some of these short range and more wall breaky types, and then Zeta Division 1 can counter it out with the final pick.
They're gonna go Gene. I was kind of thinking whether they would dare to do so or not, because Bo is a perfect line. Quite highly as of now, but to be fair, most teams haven't quite had the chance to, you know, see the full extent, the full potential of that brawler just yet.
and he's going to rely, I think, a lot on those bushes. This is one where I might expect to see a Colonel Refs or something like that. It's definitely an East Asia favorite. It's also great at breaking open some walls. It comes down to, are you able to get those supers out fast enough? But of course, this has to be something that Reply Totem are aware of because they decided not to get it for themselves. And here's the Colette, actually. Where does the wall break come from? It's got to be Jean and it's got to be Bo. However, this could simply be a new approach to the map that we have not seen before.
It's a very interesting draft on both sides, to be fair, but I think the ideas are just a little bit more traditional on the side of Reply Totem, whereas for Zeta, well, you'll have the Penny Gem carrier more likely than not be playing that left lane, and Genji on the right, but there you go. Quarterfinal number 1 between Zeta, Division 1 and Reply Totem has now officially started. And it's going to be the poking game. Early on, trying to get some early supers and put those vision gears at work.
They got to be very, very careful about this right side as well. Buster is a looming threat, but he just doesn't seem to be hanging out on that right side, and Zeta Division 1 certainly expected to be more fighting the side of the left at the moment. Mary also being very, very cautious. Here comes Mary on the right side. He has that speed here as well to get forward extremely quickly. A super for free. Shaitampo gets in closer. Oh, deletes him! What was that? In a blink of an eye, he's gone! Is revealed, it's going to start firing down on him. He's going to be forced away from mid. Here come the mines from Joker. Kenji's going to need to bait these out. He also loses a lot of bushes, and down goes Moegoku on the right side. Maru also picking up yet another gem. Shtetop having a lot of his shots reflected. Doesn't even have enough health to push in versus Maru as well. Vengeful Spirits coming in as well, keeping Shtetop and Kenji low. And now they've been pushed all the way back into their own spawn, stacking up in what seems to be a death dot, but it could be coming to get them as Reply Totem continue to stuff them back in their own spawn.
Yeah, the gems are still spawning. A pull connects from the side of Totem as Shtetop gets shut down. Moegoku on the left side wants to clear things open. Maru shuts him down, and Shtetop still has a super, wants to clear him up, but is being very careful with this push. They are playing those wiggles. That's going to be a countdown secured by Reply Totem, but it's only it does spawn on their side. A super from Shtetop, he goes down, but Kenji is able to equalize. He's so low HP, but that's still going to be another countdown initiated by Reply Totem as they find Gem 11.
Mines down on the left side, and Zeta 1 can't really bait these out as Joker is running Tripwire. They have to be cautious about these. Also another gem picked up, and the count is tied. Blue team now taking back this lead, but Reply Totem are just so close behind. Only one gem is what they need. It spawns right next to Mary. Perfect timing. Maru also denying the gotcha from Shtetop on the right side. Shtetop has none left. Oh my god, and a huge pull! Reply Totem, they've taken it back, and the countdown begins.
Incredible pull from Mari. He popped off just 2 days ago, and he's here again, providing for his team and securing game number 1. It was just an absolutely mind-blowing pull. Look at that max range. Genji did not even realize what happened, that he was already pulled, and wow. Mari again, man, he's been popping off at these World Finals.
That's what you need to make happen, especially versus such a powerhouse as Zeta Division 1, but after this game, it's too close to call. It looked so dominant at first for Zeta Division 1, then Reply Totem, they reeled it back, they stuffed Z1 back into their spawn, and this time Z1 have to flip the script. They have to do the same to Reply Totem. It's going to be very difficult with Buster looming in the bushes at all times. A big problem also for Zeta Division 1 was we repeatedly saw Shtetop getting his gadgets denied by Maru. Maru's not going to be fooling anyone with that super, though. Does manage to push in, and Joker also closes in to get a little bit more damage. Gotcha popped. Maru, though, stays alive, but Reply Totem have gotten away with a lot of gems.
Yeah, good work there from Totem. A beautiful super from Shtetop, but it's only a 1-for-1 trade. Gem lead still slightly in favor of Reply Totem. 3 now in their advantage. Mary has a pull. Kenji needs to be careful, and that pull is going to connect as well. A quick elimination as Maru secures the kill. And yet, Zeta Division 1 still have a decent bit of control, able to keep getting some gems in the mid, trying to catch up.
I'm surprised to see some of these pulls hitting as well, because Z1, they're playing 2 Gene counters here as far as the pull game goes. Maru, though, on the right side, pops that super. He's also slowed down a little bit. Looks like he'll be safe and sound for a little bit longer. Moegoku gets 1 shot, no slow. Shtetop also trying to deal some damage on the backlines, but they have to deal with the Buster on the right side. Maru finally falls. That's 1 kill for Zeta 1. 2 more along the way. They got to get these gems off Joker. Here it comes. All the gems topple onto the ground, and Maori picks up a couple of them. That's not good. Another kill as well for Shitapo. Zeta Division 1, though, they're only one gem in the lead.
Yeah, it's a very small lead, but control is looking much better for the Japanese side of the map. As they are getting to 9 now, 1 away from a countdown, but they do have a gene pull onto Maori. We saw what he did, was it earlier? The turret is there to block any incoming pulls, will get deleted, so no longer have that safety net on the side of Zeta Division 1. The super from Tempo, but he gets shut down. A 1 gem difference now as Reply Totem are close, and another pull onto Kenji.
Beautiful stuff so far on these polls. I don't think a single one has missed from Maori. The guy is going crazy, but he still needs to stay alive. A little bump there on the mine from Shitapo. Joker also still looming on the left side. Here's a countdown for Zeta Division 1, but they're only 1 gem ahead, and it's quickly taken back by Reply Totem. Joker around the left continues to push things back. Another set of mines go onto the ground, and Shitapo does manage to avoid them, but so many bushes have been lost, and Reply Totem is just waiting.
Oh!
What a use of the super! Zeta Division 1, they have to be pushed, and someone has to go down for Reply Totem to take it back.
He stole that gem with the Colette super. Maori is in trouble as well. He gets shut down, and that is going to be game. Oh, Zeta Division 1. That means what? Just in this first set, how close does it even get here?
Did you see the gem spawned right as the game ended? I missed it. He picked it up, but it was too late. A millisecond too late. And Reply Totem, they did the math, but it was just a little bit off, and it cost them the game.
Wow, what an incredible first set already. But let's see who ends up taking it, as first gem was picked up by Moya down in the mid, and Joker matching that as Maori will be playing his gene onto the lane so far, and with great results against Kenji here. Gadget will be popped, but the barrel will be dealt with quite easily by Maori, and Kenji is left low HP and forced to fall back.
Maru still on the right side, just waiting for this next super inch. Tapo's not fighting, or never mind, he is. There's a super destruction on the right side, and he continues pushing up the right as he looks to close in Joker and Maru around the left side. Goku also patiently waiting with the super. Maru, he's trying to stay close to his teammates, relatively so that he can get that super for free. Destruction of Shitapo on the right side. Now Goku retreats to pick up a couple more gems. This has been domination on the gem count. Joker's gonna have to be the saving grace. Pushing up on the right, 3-man destruction onto Kenji, but Shitapo's back. He's looking right for Maru, but Maru has a super now. It's not looking good as far as a Zeta Division 1 push in, as Reply Totem look to work the same angles before. Great! Topple to the ground, and Zeta Division 1, they've lost every last one of them. Reply Totem are 1 gem away from taking it back.
Maori has done it again with another game-changing pull, and that's gem number 10. They are split amongst all 3 players, so a bit of a weak countdown. If Zeta Division 1 can find just a single kill, things might get turned around, but a beautiful Buster Shield here to tank the left side. He knows as well that he can afford to take a couple of shots from Kenji. Is it going to be enough? Oh, the tempo nearly shuts them down, but the Reply Totem, they get away with that first set.
I need like 1 million instant replays from that entire last set, because you were completely correct. This is a grand finals in disguise. This has been so close off of just the first set. The clutch pulls hit, the gem spawning just at the last second and just a millisecond too late, costing Reply Totem one of those games. They bring it back. Not a single pull missed that entire time, and here it is. Shitapo, once again, up that right side. I mean, we'll see just exactly how that went. That was just beautiful. That's picture perfect, just textbook right there.
Yeah, Maori has been absolutely on fire these World Finals. Well, yeah, I think we're gonna see the moment you were talking about, that final gem that would have tied things up. Look at that, Shitapo stealing gem number 12, the one that would have tied things up. Reply Totem still managed to get to 11, and just a little bit too late, Joker picks up gem number 12. That would have been the tie, but time is time. As soon as the match is over, it's over.
It's been so close every single game, and even on the stats as well, but one team definitely does take the cake here. The superior stats belong to Reply Totem. I mean, more damage, more kills. Shitapo, though, I mean, we can't sleep on this guy. He's pretty much the MVP of his whole team right here, as well as on the damage overall. The Colette was putting in the work, and had the game been just a half of a second longer there towards the end, he would have been able to clutch up that gem and get the interruption.
That was an incredible opening set, and we got plenty more to go. Moving on to Hot Zone, it's going to be Ring of Fire for our second map and mode. My goodness, ready. I wasn't ready. Oh my god. Off the bat, we are going to see the loot picked up by Joker on the side of Reply Totem. Might get traded around in just a bit. Just to go through the bans real quick, we'll see Ruffs, Benny, and B banned out by Zeta. Totem banning out Griff, Otis, and Bell.
Oh man, you don't know how happy it makes me to see Lou here. The NA vibes and full force,
know.
but this is EMEA vibes now. It's very clear that Lou is good here. Well, okay, well, we'll make it that much clearer, or rather Reply Totem will, if they are able to make this one pop off. Zeta Division 1 though, they get the Max and the Meg as well. This is a pick that I think is slept on a lot, but has been banned out more times than I think many people have expected in the World Finals so far, especially when it comes to Ring of Fire. Combine that with Max, really any East Asian team with a Max, they're gonna go crazy.
Meg is an absolute trend. In the last couple of weeks, we've seen it really just resurge. I don't know if it was being kept, you know, hidden for a while, or if the slight buff that it had recently really motivated players to get back at it. But it's been doing really wonderfully well lately. We'll see Buster and Gil to complete the comp from Reply Totem, and I like what I'm seeing. They seem to really want to utilize that Buster.
Yeah, it definitely also looks like a Max sort of counter comp, right? Let's try and slow things down. Lou as a first pick is going to be quite effective for that. You just have to make sure that you actually hit those shots. It's sort of hard to line them up sometimes if an enemy is dodging you really, really well. And of course, Max is going to be going really, really fast once she gets that super up, and Meg is going to be difficult to face. Here's a Crow as well. That's going to be good for diminishing some of the health that Buster has to offer. It also can fire over his shield with the super, but I don't really know how much of a valuable strategy that's going to be. This one's a tough one to call because we don't often see Buster in competitive, and we don't often see Meg in competitive either. This is like a World Finals exclusive.
Yeah, both teams, they are bringing out their wildest comps for this one because they know just how closely matched they are, how much of a threat they are to each other. Because both teams, they only have one thing in mind, and that is going to be victory. Let's find out how Hot Zone goes down. So far, a couple early tags from Kenji that were on point. A slow onto Joker could result in a kill, but some good body blocking will save the day as Maru comes through with a shield to secure some percentages for Reply Totem, but I just don't know how sustainable that Buster strategy really is. Wow!
Evidently not very sustainable as Shetapo takes the lead and now firmly plants himself on the left side. Here comes a swing as well. No damage on the Joker Maru as he's pushed away by the super of Joker. Another super popped by Maru, but he's all slowed down. He will be able to get onto the point, but not for long. Shetapo lays him to rest. Joker remains alive just by a smidge, but Shetapo, Kenji, despite being reduced to low health, remain alive. Kenji also goes in for a kill, destroyed by Maru, but this one is so clear cut on the scores so far. Zeta Division 1 are ahead by a massive margin.
Yeah, this is going to be a complicated one. Tempo very aggressive there, gets knocked back by Joker, but really, this is just such a significant lead for Zeta Division 1. I don't know if Reply Totem can recover. They are trying to get some more control, and Maru using that star power to get his shield back, but it's been a bit of a challenge so far for Totem, not really able to find much of their groove in this game.
Well, now they do have that loose super down. It's going to be forcing people off the point, but they still got to deal with Kenji on the left side. Maru also is reduced to very low health. Really can't compete with the range of Shetapo. It's the final push in. It looks like Zeta Division 1, they have to stay alive here. 1-2 destruction. Maru does get the kill, but he falls to the poison and the damage from Shetapo. It's a Zeta Division 1 victory with the Max Meg strat. The Buster just was not it off the beginning of the game. They got almost no value off of that super.
What a response from Zeta Division 1, and what a good draft as well. I'm not overly convinced by the Buster so far here on Ring of Fire. I think in double swoosh it was doing fantastic, but here it's been struggling a lot more. The shields are very useful for sure, but they only last for so long, and you just don't really have the range to threaten your opponents besides that. That's why they are going for a wide flank on the right side, try to change the execution a little bit and find another game plan.
Well, Maori, he was left high and dry on the top side, taken down in a 1v2. Down goes Joker as well. Maori's the last one surviving, tries to use that super, but you can't block a melee attack. Shetapo picks up the kill, and Reply Totem still, they've only managed to make a scratch on that point. 1% taken so far, and now they'll try and freeze things up, make things slip around a bit, but Zeta Division 1 are already preparing for the counter onslaught.
Totem need a miracle to save this set. It's not a draft that seems to be going too well for them as Kenji jumps in, gets a lot of value, but does end up going down. That will feed the loose super, so freezing off the bottom side of the map. We see the Wiggles from Moya on the max.
Yeah, we've got to love the Wiggles. That's the East Asia Max exclusive. Here comes a little pushback on a Shitampo. He stays alive. Yeah, must be spinning because that was a bit of a waste. He's also close to getting that super too. Here comes the damage. Moya Goku pops a speed as well. They're laying right into Reply Totem. No kills just yet, but you don't need kills. You just need the power of will. And the power of will to stay alive at mid. Shitampo, he's left high and dry. 1-2 kills for the guy. Needs another. There it goes, Joker. And he's now going to become a creature of the bushes on the left side, lurking here for as long as he can.
The tempo on the max shuts down Reply Totem once again. It's a closer game, but it's still very much Zeta Division 1 with the lead, and Maori left in a 1v3 fight just the one, and that is going to be Zeta Division 1 with a quickly secured set to tie things up.
Little shots from Shitampo there towards the end. That's confidence right there. When you can walk all over your enemies and slap them up with some attacks from Meg Super, that's fantastic. It's got to be a good feeling as well. And what a way to take things back after Gem Grab every single Gene Pull hit in set number 1. And that can make you feel kind of amateur when you allow that to happen, especially when you're playing B and you're playing Penny as well. Two brawlers that can block it out. Zeta Division 1, it looks like they've gotten back in their group, but less specifically on the battlefield, but more in the draft. I think this was an outdraft by Zeta 1.
Yeah, I think there are some interesting ideas in what Totem brought to the table here on Ring of Fire. Because, yes, the Buster is not really gonna get a whole lot of damage, right? Because he's just non-stop too far from the action. With the shields, they will help the Lu, for example, to come forward, get some free shots, and then get that super down, which will disable your opponents from getting in the zone. But Zeta just really didn't play into that. They gave them the space whenever the shield was up, and then pushed back, and there was just not really enough utility on the side of a Totem to deal with that. But looking at the stats, it's again Shitampo that is highest both in damage and in kills.
And that hurts on the side of Reply Totem. I mean, maybe we can turn a blind eye to it. 0-2-3 on the kill count, and while it is hot zone, it's not all about kills. You do need to play for control, and getting kills is a great way to, get someone out of your way, send them back to the respawn, and make sure they are not contesting you on the objective. But it looks like in the draft, in the gameplay, on the stats as well, it's all clear cut for Zeta 1. However, we're moving right along, and into this mode right here, Zeta 1, Brawl Ball, it is their best mode. 74% win rate. Reply Totem, not really much to speak of on their Brawl Ball win rate.
Yeah, no, it's a night and day difference, but we'll see off the bat the max pick brought in by Reply Totem. A wise one, because I mean, you don't want to leave it to Zeta. It escaped through the draft process here, but the following brawlers did not, as Griff, Gil, and Surge were banned out by Totem. Zeta banned out Ruffs, Penny, and Buster.
It's a good thing they banned out Buster. I think they just had a feeling that, it's definitely going to be picked by Reply Totem, and also probably pretty wise here on Brawl Ball as well. There's a Crow as well, just the instant response to the max pick. Now, when it comes to Super Beach, how well is it going to do? He doesn't have a whole lot of health. He does have great mobility, though, and if they start to shape the map to their will, he might be able to do quite a bit better as well. But when you start off with a max pick, that's very, very bold, because Max, she's pretty straightforward to counter. The counters are not really banned out either, and Zeta 1, it looks like they fully intend on countering out the max strategy.
Yeah, Crow, I think, is definitely a valid option to do that, right? The slow is going to help out massively because there's a big push. If you can slow multiple people down, those 3 seconds are 3 seconds enough to get a successful defense or a big pickup. Shitampo going to be following up with an Otis brought to his team. And I definitely like Otis here. I think on Super Beach it's an absolutely viable pick. One of the more standards one here as well, a bit less original perhaps than the Crow, but one that's very effective. A mute at the right timing will shut down an offense, shut down a defense, and give you a lot of win conditions.
And Fast Splatter could be pretty good for getting some extra damage on enemies, controlling some lanes too, and also for destroying some turrets that could be otherwise pretty frustrating. Here's the Poco though, and that's going to be the max Poco. It just doesn't appear that they really care that they are facing versus an Otis and a Crow. They must have thought that, yeah, we'll go for the max first pick, first of all, because it's Zeta 1 that we're facing. We do not want them to have max as a second or third pick. And second of all, they're just that confident that they can make the max Poco work. Really, the only way for them to finish this off is going to have to be with a tank, and they might do so because look at the brawlers they banned out. It's very clear that they want to run a tank. Is it possible? There's a Carl. He's not the tankiest tank. He's not like the quintessential neutral tank, but he does have a lot of health. He has great damage in close range with his super, and good mobility with his gadget.
Yeah, I somewhat disagree. I feel like a Carl or maybe even a Gene were more likely to come true, just because I think it's too dangerous. You can't against an Otis. Crow is vulnerable to the tanker brawlers, but I think Carl is a very valid option because, you know, you played it at around mid-range, super high mobility, and his super basically makes him a tank for just a couple of seconds. The final pick on the side of Zeta Division 1 is going to be Ems, and it's a great idea because as Max defines the pace of the game with her max speed, Ems slows it down in her own way with her super. So I think they have a decent amount of stuff to work with on the side of Zeta Division 1. Much more defensive, obviously, compared to Reply's Totem that is all about going in and hit heavy.
Well, you know what they say, sometimes the best offense is a good defense, and Zeta Division 1, they are certainly well equipped for a good offense if that is the case. Reply Totem, though, they're certainly wanting to play aggressive here, and it's going to be countered out as best as Zeta Division 1 can. Already, some damage dealt on both sides, more dealt to Reply Totem, big pinch on a Maru, and Maori around the left side tries to force things forward with Joker, but they're stranded. Kill by Stetampo. Maori, he's surrounded in a 1v3. It's chalked in that matchup. Zeta Division 1 now have to push this forward. However, is their health pool going to lend itself to success? Well, Maru, he has a super that he can use. He needs the right moment, though.
Yeah, Maru actually dodged that super, but Stetampo has the ball now as well in a good position, but still going to be somewhat complicated. He goes for it, but oh my goodness, how did he just 1v2? I don't think he can score it. He's still going to attempt it. Joker doesn't quite fall for it and catches the ball mid-track, but wow, that was incredibly close. And another super from Stetampo finding the value. Maori goes for the super, an elimination onto Kenji. Aggressive positioning from Maru, the pass, the shot, and it goes in.
Beautiful, beautiful plays and positioning from Reply Totem. It goes to show you don't need to win the mid-fight in order to slot a ball in the goal. You just got to run it up one of those lanes and have your teammate in the optimal position. And Carl, he's equipped. Here comes the speed as well. Immediately denied by Stetampo, but he's on very low health. A little jump in. Oh, then the ball sneaks through. Maori's got the goal, and Reply Totem take game one.
This is crazy. Zeta Division 1 just looked so much better in the beginning. Stetampo was popping off. He nearly scored a 1v2, which was incredible by itself, but somehow Reply Totem, they managed to turn things around and hit them hard with those two quick goals. Let's see if this next game is going to be similar, if Zeta Division 1 can find a solution to what Reply Totem have been throwing at them.
It's close call after close call with these guys. Reply Totem, they're really only getting these goals by a close call. However, Maru, he's in position to get this one again. Little kill, little technique there with the gadget as well. Joker slots it in, and this is a completely different narrative from what we've seen in game number 1. So much more dominant for Reply Totem, and already a speed in. Joker, he's got some nasty ideas. He's going to be denied by Kenji and Stetampo. Now it's a 3v1, but two very low brawlers on either side of Kenji. It's not going to be enough. A pass to the left side. It's a lightning fast game so far, and it's already tied up.
Some hesitation from Maru, whether he should gadget there or not, but in the end, that is going to be the goal for Zeta Division 1 that ties things up in this game. Joker, again, trying to see if a play is possible. Beautiful knockback from Stetampo to secure that elimination as Joker gets jumped on, but still manages to find the kill either way. Moya Goku gets pinched by Joker as he struggles to close out that fight against Maori on the left-hand side, and things seem to even out for now.
Stetampo also, he can slow down one of those supers from Joker if he pops the super at the right moment. Here it comes, and they're not really intending to push Stetampo, but he is on very low health. They can sneak around the side. Not a whole lot of value gain there from Reply Totem off that super. Meanwhile, on the left side, Maori's getting good damage. Good stuff from Stetampo too. Down goes Joker. We got to see the pass. Maori's trying to get it. No, it's enough, but here's a super up to Kenji from downtown. There's the goal! And Zeta Division 1 to take game number 2.
Zeta Division 1 are ice cold. They still managed to turn things around and tie things up here in Brawl, and now we are all even. 1-1 in sets and 1-1 here for Super Beach. Where Goku is playing aggressive against Maori. Joker takes a lot of damage, still goes for the pass. Maru has an advanced position that could be the goal, but
ein bisschen wieder in die Mitte. Der Ball liegt da erstmal relativ entspannt auf der linken Lane. Maori. Jetzt jetzt wieder seine Ult ready. Kenji, können sie es einfach machen? Der Ball rollt dadurch, das ist ein Ausgleich. Was war denn das? Das war, glaube ich, ein ganz, ganz klassischer Nemidu, ich habe ihn sicher, Moment.
Losing an M's attack right after, not something that we see very often, and maybe something that's not completely intentional, but still looking clean. Little kill there in close range as well as Maru falls. A 3v2, now a 3v1. It's up to Joker to clutch this one, or at least buy his team some time to respawn. And back comes Maru, but no gadgets left. He doesn't have the mobility that he needs so badly. Shittampo also has a super. Things are closing in. It's not looking good. Pass to the right. Joker clutches it, but Moyagoku picks it back up, and Zeta1 takes set 3.
What a turnaround. It seemed like that was it. Like Reply Totem, we're gonna take that third set. But Zeta Division 1, out of nowhere, reverse sweep. And what a way to do so as well. And can we just appreciate the phenomenal performance from Shittampo so far? He's been playing at a whole other level.
Oh my gosh, I just cannot wait for the stats. But look at this, I mean, just replay after replay. This was a sick one though by Maru. Sneaky around the left side. It's just a gold compilation here, and every single one is just mind-blowing here. Clean stuff from Joker as well. They're really using every trick in the book to get an elimination here.
Wow, unbelievable series so far. And I have to admit, man, Shittampo has done so much for his team in this set. Reply Totem played phenomenally as well. But I have a feeling, ready, that this one is going all the way.
I have a feeling too. I mean, given how close things came just in set number 3, even in set number 1, it was a draft diff in set number 2, right? We've gotten that out of the way. However, every other draft has been so impressive on both sides. It's been so close. And Reply Totem, I think they actually put up a very good effort versus Zeta Division 1 on Zeta's strongest mode. However, the stats, they tell a bit of a different story. Shittampo with a whole lot of damage and kills, but Moyagoku also has been stealing the spotlight a little today.
Yeah, 10 kills on his side, absolutely phenomenal performance from him too. And overall, what a close set again. This is such an incredible series already, and this is just a quarterfinal match ready.
Well, Pit Stop, every single time you and I have been together here on Pit Stop, it's been a Nita pick, and you know what? I'm actually ready to count it out this time. I have a feeling that, oh, there it is, Reply Totem's counting it out. There's the Nita ban. It's, once again, I want to reiterate, it's good versus tanks, we just haven't seen Nita into tanks. Okay, explanation, ramble over. Here comes the rough from Zeta Division 1. They've also gotten rid of Penny, Bonnie, and Surge on their side.
Yeah, the second pick now, or first for the side of Reply Totem. Try to deal with that roughs or go towards other ideas. You don't necessarily need to counter out the roughs very early on into the draft. One of the better counters would have been called, but they banned it out on their side. There are plenty of ways to go. As you mentioned, you can bring tanks on this map. That's absolutely an option. Max is always an option. There's not really a single map where Max is not playable. I think throwers are still something to be considered as well, especially Barley. I think on Pit Stop can put in some solid work. They're gonna go Rico, which is an idea I like. I mentioned it yesterday when they picked roughs on this map. It's just a great way to not only deal with the roughs, but in general have a lot of nice angles, whether it's on the safe or on your opponents. Just a lot of ways to deal damage to your opponents while they can't hit you.
Well, the only thing on my mind right now is Barley, because Barley could be great versus Colonel Ruffs and his sandbags. It could be great as a last pick, and it's an option for Reply Totem. Zeta Division 1, they could go ahead and pick it up themselves and risk getting countered. They could also decide that they're going to counter it out themselves, because Colonel Ruffs, he can still break walls, right? We cannot forget that. Here's the Otis again, and they seem to love this brawler playing into Max. It worked well in the last set, and it could work well again. He also gets very solid damage output on that high safe too, and that's not something that you can ever count out. They have one more pick left, and not a whole lot of time to get there. What are they going to combine with the Colonel Ruffs? Where are they going to be placing? Oh man,
wow.
Probably not the buzz right off the bat there, but this is a super aggro pick. It's going to be giving Maru a lot of trouble.
Taking a page out of Reply Totem's book, really. I mean, buzz on highs, that's all Totem, but they will be the ones facing it this time around as Zeta Division 1 bring it to the table. Let's see what this final pick is going to be from Reply Totem, as they need something strong, and it is going to be Barley, which is a brawler we have very rarely seen recently, but this is the map to bring him out. obviously will need to play incredibly careful around the walls, because if the buzz gets anywhere close enough to hit a pull, that is going to be a free kill.
I believe a lot of it's going to come down to the early game, because Colonel Ruffs, okay, you know, we've been over this a million times. He's great at breaking open walls with his super, and that's probably going to be the main counterplay to Barley. The faster he can get those supers out, the worse Barley is going to be. However, what do you do versus a Barley that has speed? That allows him much better mobility to get in versus your safe. Zeta Division 1, though, already giving mid a solid shot, but taking serious damage, especially onto Kenji. Meanwhile, Shetapo, he goes for the super. No value. And here's a speed onto Barley. Maru and Mari plan on laying into this safe.
Yeah, beautiful kill onto Shetapo from Mari and Maru, playing it out together. Shetapo going in with a gadget this time around. Nearly falls, actually. Is very low HP now. And Mari is not quite able to get the connection. Instead, goes down. Still a little bit of a lead in favor of Reply Totem. Joker with a super finds some connections here and there, but nothing too substantial. As the pull from Shetapo connects onto Maru, secures the elimination, and Mauri is next in line. Shetapo takes him out, and he's low HP, but he's still alive, and that's pretty much the name of the game for Shetapo.
Mari, he's got the aggressive super in, clearing out some area. Shetapo, though, has bad intentions around the right side. It's going to be denied for now. Some walls broken open. Good stuff from Shetapo. Lots of damage on the safe. Kenji connects as well. A little pinch there versus Mari. Has nowhere to go, but he still sends Moya Goku to this early grave. Reply Totem, however, are operating at a heist safe damage deficit. And Shetapo and Kenji are both forced back. A good connection of the silence on a Joker, and in fact, it's going to cause him to fall. The super, yeah, it's not going to give too much to Joker, though. However, Mauri, he still gets some damage in, immediately denied by Shetapo. No damage lead for Reply Totem, as they now have to fall into defense.
Yeah, a very small lead now still for Zeta Division 1, but they got better positioning. Shetapo has a super as well, and we saw earlier, over and over again, how much value he finds with them. Kenji could go for a mute too, that would single-handedly take someone out of the fight. Kenji connects a mute, finds the kill on the other. Shetapo gonna miss the save with that pull, but it should still be enough to cause a lot of damage, get it all the way down to 11%. But look at this, all of Reply Totem are near that blue save. This is their chance to get a massive amount of damage. They need to close it out right here, right now, because a pull on the save or anyone getting over aggressive, and it's gonna get turned around, and Zeta will secure the win. It looks like they will do just that with just a couple of seconds left. They need a miracle for Reply Totem.
It's going to come down to whether Mari can pump out a lot of damage, but it's looking quite unlikely. 1, 2, 3 shots on there. It's coming close. 16%. Not enough value, though. A 5% differential there towards the end is going to give the victory to Zeta Division 1. And it's a match point incoming.
My goodness. Reply Totem gonna be regretting some of those mistakes, whether it was the draft in Ring of Fire or in Brawl, letting that just get out of their hands. Let's see now, as they face a match point, if they can make anything happen. Joker falls to Shetapo off the bat, and wow, a one-on-one trade in the mid is exactly what Zeta Division wanted, as they still have the positioning. Shetapo was able to get a good angle to get his super. Now immediately the walls opened up, but somehow not a single kill. He's the one going down.
Here comes the speed in. Joker has to run it up mid. Not a whole lot of angles to shoot there. Kenji is avoiding a lot of damage along the way. Mari's trying to get something versus Shetapo, and on the right side, Maru falls. Mari's going to commit to this safe. He's got to get a lot of damage pumped out. Not a scratch on Reply Totem safe just yet, but a whole lot could be coming in. Moya Goku, Kenji, and Shetapo in tandem all focused it down, largely ignoring Maru as well. Shetapo takes a lot of damage and provides a lot of value, but meanwhile, on Zeta's safe, they're still taking a heavy, heavy beating. In fact, it's getting close. It might even be exact at some point on the percentage.
Yeah, this is an incredibly close situation, but Mari's solo HP gets muted as well, and Kenji shuts him down. That's a lot of damage on safe. This could just be it, and they have done it! Zeta Division 1 are moving through to the semifinals.
An insanely close skill matchup, but it still leads to a 3-1 victory in the end for Zeta Division 1. A solid victory for the guys, and a seriously good approach by Reply Totem. Really only one set in there that had me scratching my head and asking questions. Everything else insanely close. It did not pan out in the end for Reply Totem, unfortunately.
Absolutely so. Yeah, the hot zone was the big blunder, right? That was a free set, just a poor draft on the side of Totem, and one day we'll be regretting. Brawl was where also things got really, they just went absolutely wrong for the side of Reply Totem, because Zeta Division 1 by all means should have lost that one, but Totem choked and made some mistakes, gave away another set, and there was no recovering from there on.
Yeah, really just a few blunders made that added up to be a whole lot, and a whole lot for Shitampo as well. So much value for him. That's what happens when you kind of take the Reply Totem strategy and apply it for yourself. No buzz for you, Joker. It's mine now, says Zeta Division 1, and they take it, they run with it. 10 kills as well. It might not be the objective, but when you're continuously eliminating the Barley, the Rico, the main damage dealers of the squad, it's a huge dent in the potential output that Reply Totem had to offer.
Yeah, this was nearly as close as it can get for 3-1, right? If you remove just that free set of hot zone, that was a phenomenal series, and I almost wish that we got to see the best of 7 between those two teams that we will have for the grand finals, because I feel like, some different game modes, some different conditions here and there, it could have been a different story.
I would have loved to see a best of 7 too. I really wanted to see some more Reply Totem and Zeta Division 1 going head to head, but Zeta Division 1, they definitely have to be feeling pretty good here as well, and we got to decide an MVP. Of course, we asked you guys on event.ballstars.com, okay, it's Shitampo, it always is Shitampo.
We don't need to tell them to vote. They know exactly who to vote for here already. It's Shitampo, no hesitation. He had highest kills, highest damage, pretty much in every single set, and by far.
I mean, this is one of those instances where I say there's, a correct answer, right? Just like all the other questions on event.brawlstars.com, it's a multiple choice. Okay, you click Shitampo, you win, have your points, have your this and that, and, get a little bit closer to that skin. Well, an awesome first match of the day for our quarterfinals. It has been exhilarating so far, and with that, Zeta Division 1, they head on to the semifinals. That places them one match away from what we consider inevitable. Zeta Division 1 in the finals. It's one of those things that we say is inevitable about Brawl Stars.
Yeah, well, giving a look at our bracket here, next up, we'll be watching STMN versus Team Queso, an EMEA versus NA matchup, which we always love to watch. We will later on also have Tribe Gaming EU versus Zeta Division 1's sister team, Zeta Division 0, and then Tribe Gaming NA versus SK Gaming. I'm gonna be honest, as you already said, all of those matches are fantastic. It's really hard to tell which one I'm the most excited to watch out of the three. I think this is just an incredible set of quarterfinals, and it just says how much promise and how much you guys can expect from our semifinals and grand finals later on today too.
No doubt, in every single one of these matches, it's going to have to be extremely close, especially looking at the bottom side of the bracket. Tribe Gaming EU, Zeta 0 going head-to-head. Tribe Gaming versus SK Gaming as well is looking really spicy. That's a rematch after MSI, and one that got very contentious as well. A whole lot of yelling and some voices lost at the end, but of course one winner came out on top, and we have that to come. But still, STMN versus Team Queso is coming up. Now, when we talk STMN, a lot of expectations, a lot of fans of this team in particular, and the exact same for Team Queso. However, their opponent on day one, it was not really as stacked as Zeta, or rather as STMN's opponent, right? STMN, they faced the #1 seed in LATAM South. AQM took a handy victory as well with a 3-0. When it came to Team Queso, they also got a 3-0, but it was versus Stalwart Esports, which was frankly not as strong of a showing, unfortunately.
No, it really wasn't. I feel like both teams are coming from incredibly different directions, because STMN, it's kind of a miracle they're here in the first place. Yeah. They had to absolutely pop off in the NA and LATAM North monthly finals, the final one, which they ended up winning as well. So they needed to make it far there to even qualify here in the first place. A lot of people had their doubts, but on the side of Team Queso, a lot of people had their doubts on them even, getting through the round of 16 this weekend. So pretty different stories, but the expectations are different as well, as STMN should be coming here as a favorite.
STMN, they're definitely a crowd favorite here. Bobby, OG, Zara on the squad. Of course, we got to welcome to the stage. I cannot wait to see what they have to offer today. Damascus, take it away.
Et oui, en effet, on est prêt, on est allé voir la foule. Est-ce qu'on est chaud ici? C'est que le début de la journée, le premier match était bon. On va lancer le deuxième match. Et un petit NA contre EU. On aime bien un peu la rivalité outre-Atlantique entre l'Amérique et l'Europe. Et on va commencer par accueillir les représentants américains. Un max de bruit, s'il vous plaît, pour STMN!
STMN, do they really need any introduction? Bobby, OG, and Czar. Fade filling in for Sands. Unfortunately, he was not able to make it to this LAN, but definitely supporting them from home, both in chat and in spirit. These guys are just some of the powerhouses of North America, and it seems like they always come back at the last moment to clutch things up. We saw it in the Snapdragon Pro Series where they came back pretty much by a miracle on their own accord. It did not fare so well for the two teams that were not able to go to the LAN, which led to STMN making it there. But when STMN was there, they completely owned the competition, taking Tribe for a ride in that grand final and taking it all in the end.
Yeah, STMN is a team that has always been somewhat in the middle of the pack. Never really been able to be the top team, but also never on the bottom. In the World Finals 2021, they made it to top 8. At MSI, they made it to top 4. Now they are aiming for top 1. We'll have to see if they have what it takes. But their opponents, Team Queso, are ready to join the stage.
Leurs adversaires, évidemment, ils sont européens, ils représentent l'Espagne. C'est les 3 joueurs qui sont là pour faire voler leur drapeau le plus haut possible. Est-ce qu'ils vont être capables de gagner leur premier match de la journée? Es tiempo, Team Queso!
The all Spanish roster, Team Queso, that's Javi Navarro, Ale SSJ, and Boss recently joining the roster, as well as Rafa and Blacksea left just a couple of months ago. This team has been a big question mark throughout the year. Some amazing results here and there, as we saw in the monthly finals of May in the MEA, that they ended up winning pretty much out of nowhere. But then at MSI, they placed pretty much dead last. They did not qualify last year for the World Finals, and they haven't really had any major achievements since then. And what most people rather know them for is the 0-7 they had in the Snapdragon Pro Series Season 2, where, well, they lost literally against every single top team in the EU.
Including their former teammates as well, which had been released playing for FA Panafresh too, which can never be a great feeling for Team Queso when you've rearranged as well and brought on a new member. Boss, though, this is a big story for him because he almost went to Worlds last year, I believe under Bunker ROG, and unfortunately was dropped from the team just a few months prior to qualifying for Worlds and making it there. Now he's finally on the stage. He's in the limelight and he's here to take a victory. Versus STMN, it's going to be a struggle because Team Queso, it's been a struggle for them. Likewise, just in general over the last several months, we always have to give credit where credit is due, right? A victory in the May monthly finals in EMEA is a big deal, but it's not the same Team Queso. Not even really by not even really by, I guess, a third, right? They're missing 2 players. They bring on Boss. Maybe it's just growing pains. We have to see how they perform. It's good old-fashioned Brawl Stars to determine it.
Yeah, this is a tough one to call, but I feel like most of you guys at home will be siding with STMN. We'll see actually in just a little bit, but on the casting desk, we were pretty unanimous on this one, and we all sided with STMN. Much love for Team Queso, don't get me wrong, and they are a team with a lot of potential, some great mechanics and ideas, but they've still struggled a decent amount to put them into proper execution and actually find a winning game plan for them.
Team Queso, they're facing a very confident team, one that is known to simply pop off at LANs. And I think really my focus here for STMN, it's got to be OG. Usually he plays on, not the greatest of Wi-Fi, pretty geographically distant as well, but at LANs, there's no delay, and you're right next to your opponents and right next to your teammates as well. I want everyone to kind of focus down on OG and see how this guy plays at LAN. I think he might be the strongest LAN player on the STMN roster.
He had a great performance 2 days ago here as well. So I absolutely think you're right that there are, a lot of eyes that are going to be on him just because of how well his form has been, and one of the eldest players in the competitive scene. And I'm not saying that as in, too old to play, but he has a lot of experience, and that is incredibly valuable to own that stage, have that confidence, reassure your teammates, and make them feel like they're in a safe place, because the nerves and the pressure always hits you on that stage, and you got to make sure that the boat stays afloat.
Pretty much, and I mean, STMN, they're all naturals up here on stage. Team K, so we, of course, need to see how they perform at LAN as well, because we haven't gotten to see as much of them in a LAN environment, and as we've seen in previous days, sometimes that can be a huge, huge factor. Of course, the matchup is always a big consideration, but simply being present at LAN, we saw it from Raconic, it definitely comes into play. Are you experienced in this sort of venue?
I'm not entirely sure here of my sources, but I think there is a chance that Team Keizo has a 0% win rate in LAN. Because, I mean, their only LAN in the BSC was MSI, where they lost their in the first round, and SPS, that was the day after, where they, I believe, also lost in the first round. So, yeah, it's not been too glorious in LAN for Team Keizo, but they've worked hard this entire year to get to this point, and I'm sure they'll give it their all. 62% of you guys at home side with Stamina for this matchup, and I don't blame you. Layer kick is where we kick things off, and we won't be seeing any Poco, Squeak, or Max as STMN banned them out. TQ banned Gus, Bronk, and G.
I was going to say no tick pick just yet, and here it is, the first pick from STMN. And this is always a pretty safe brawler to go for, especially as of late with the new gear that gives his super even more health than Tick has on a normal day as well. Team Keizo, now they need to respond to this, and they have the last pick, so they can counter it out with something like a Sprout, but STMN, they also are acutely aware that this is open and might opt to go for it themselves. They might even opt to try and counter it out. Here comes the penny on the side of Team Keizo, though, and in close range, she'll be able to do very well with the Salty Barrel if STMN decided they want to get tricky with a Daryl or a Buzz or the like, which they're pretty well known to go for at times. Team Keizo also pick up the Otis, so they are doubling down on the defense.
Yeah, I like the ideas here on the side of Team Keizo. Think there is definitely some potential, but Tick is an absolute threat at the moment. I mean, just that new gear, getting an extra 1000 HP on your Tick heads is so much value. It takes so long to shut them down. There's pretty much just no brawler that can one-shot it now, so wasting always multiple ammo on it gives you quite a bit of control, and if it connects onto you, you are going down more likely than not, especially at a pro level. But their second pick is gonna be Janet to take the action up in the air, but they do have 2 picks in a row here, so their final one for Stamina will be coming in just a second, and we'll lock in their comp.
Likely no intentions of breaking open walls here, especially with Brock out of the mix. They could still pick up a Piper, which is a fairly popular pick for the STMN roster. However, they have to be very careful about breaking open the walls, right? They would be oh my god, NA, bro, NA. Here's the Ash, and how is he going to make it into the enemy spawn? It's not like he really has like the wind at his back with Max or anything, but Team Keizo, they must have known this was coming too, because they picked up 2 brawlers that are very good versus tanks, especially Boss. OG, maybe his plan is to always have that super at the ready when he decides he wants to push Boss in particular, but Ala SSJ will still be able to handily take out those rats with a lot of penetrating damage from his main attack. Javi on the Carl can never complain. Of course, that's going to be fantastic versus Tick in close range, but it all comes down to the aggro plays, and Bobby has switched onto the Ash. We really are in for a ride from the side of STMN, and Team Keizo, they have to respond effectively.
Well, let's jump in for our first game here, and off the bat, Bobby already was first blood on it. A 2-star lead, actually 1-star rather, as Team Keizo picked up the blue one initially. Javi does somehow survive that engagement. Not exactly sure how they let him get away with it, but Bobby got upset, knows that Team Keizo owe him a death, and he went to collect it in the mid.
And already some walls broken open on that left side too. It's going to force Czar maybe into a different area. A little turret down from OG, quickly responded to by the turret from Ala SSJ, which is going to be out of reach for a good amount of time. Javi's also ready with the super. He could be taken down by Czar. He's completely cornered in here. The rats as well. Could be a team wipe if Boss doesn't stay alive. OG might have to go for it. Czar also needs to stay very safe. Almost a good kill onto Bobby, but he uses his last gadget. We're only a minute and a half in, and Bobby, he's already out of gadgets.
Everyone was so incredibly low HP on the side of Stamina, and yet no one went down. 9 stars now in favor of the North American roster. Bobby going aggressive, has no more gadgets, so can't quite heal up like he used to. Navi wants to go in aggressive. That is going to be the first skill for Team Queso. They find another, and suddenly the gap is not quite as wide as it used to be. It's only 5 stars.
Let's also observe the way that STM is playing here. They're playing extremely defensively, but that also means that Team Queso pretty much always has them on the back foot. There is an extremely important differential here, though, which is that Team Queso, they're behind by 5 stars plus the blue star. They need to get a kill onto OG and someone else because simply Bobby and Zar won't cut it. And that turret's also going to be stuffing them into the backlines. 15 seconds to go. Bobby takes the aggro. He's determined to push the backline back, but he can't get to the turret in time. Javi's also very low on health. A little explosion there on the left side as Boss continues to be pushed back. Bobby also silenced. Javi goes down. LSSJ, Boss also try to get a push up the left side. It doesn't come through. And a convincing first game for STMN.
A very strong showing off the bat on the side of Stamina Esports, as so far they are looking strong, they are looking fierce. Let's see if they can double down and lock in that first set.
Well, unlike the last game, STMN, they don't immediately go for mid, and it's going to give that early game lead to Team Queso. Now we get to see this game from a different perspective, with Team Queso primarily playing defense. Well, that didn't last for long. Okay, LSSJ goes down. Bobby claims a kill. Yeah, a little correction there from Bobby, too. STMN, though, they still have the lead. Boss on the left side, unfortunately not able to get that kill. OG on the right as well, now swapping lanes with Zar. And things are getting a little bit more stalematey as STMN don't intend on falling back to the backlines, back to their respawn as quickly as in the last one.
Yeah, here's the thing. Bobby keeps somehow getting into 1v1s, which there's pretty much no Brawl here on the side of Team Queso that is going to win those. Bobby single-handedly just secured already 8 stars for his team, and that's a problem. Team Queso, they need to stop giving him those freebies and play together against him, play the team fight, and so far have been way too spread out and playing lonely.
And Bobby off of this is going to go extremely aggro. He's still going to find himself on offense and actually gives a lot of stars to Team Queso. Meanwhile, also, Javi's deeply in spawn. Does get cleaned up by the guy with the broom and the trash can, but still, Team Queso find themselves at a deficit. 4 stars this time. They have the blue star on their side. They need to take down either one or the other, just 2 of these enemies in order to get the advantage. Bobby also pops a gadget just now. He still has 1 left to use. Zar also with the super on the right side, quickly taken down by Javi. A good kill onto Bobby, and STMN, they're only leading by 1 star now, and they're still on defense with only 20 seconds left.
There's only 1 star in it, and that could go quickly as Bobby is quite low HP now as well. Zar on the right hand side pushing back Javi, but Javi deals with the thick head. This is the final push here from Team Queso, and this could be a dangerous one for Stamina as Zar ends up going down, and that might just be enough as Javi is trying to heal back up. Team Queso was a 3-star lead, tie things up and even things out.
Very, very cool, calm, collected gameplay from Team Queso this time. They, I think, picked up on the issue, which is that Bobby, he's allowed to get in these 1v1s repeatedly. I think we also saw Bobby go needlessly aggressive and feed a lot of stars to the enemy team. It had to be a little bit of confidence that sort of got to his head because he went completely alone on the Ashe. You cannot